Federico will now offer us a word of prayer as we begin our ceremony.
Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, I would like to thank you for bringing us all here safely this evening as we begin our commencement program this evening. We are reminded of how good and gracious you have been to our class through the years. As we pause and reflect on our time at Hilltop this evening, we want to thank you for guiding us and protecting us up to this point. May we feel your presence this evening in our ceremony, and may we feel you in our lives each and every day. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
My name is John Soma. I'm the coach here at Hilltop Christian School. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have the award ceremony that was supposed to be last week, but I had an unfortunate family situation that took me out of the state. And so today, I wanted to make sure to give the 8th graders their awards just in case they want to skip tomorrow. So, yeah. So then 5 through 7, they will be getting theirs tomorrow on Friday. Okay, so for the first award, this goes to a young man. I'll be talking about him later on today, so I won't share too much. But he's incredible. He's a bright kid. He's my boy, Federico. Okay, and the second award, the final award, goes to a young lady that was her first time ever joining us. She blew us away. Her tenacity, her just resolve, she does not quit. And so Mia, she got
I attended Hilltop from preschool through 8th grade and graduated last year.
Hi, my name is Anna Christenorin. I attended Hilltop in kindergarten, 5th through 8th grade, and also graduated last year. We are both sophomores at Rio Lindo Adventist Academy, which is now a boarding school in Hillsborough, California.
Tonight we're hearing preach of our recruiter, Israel, who also take care of two Bible verses that got us through our passion years. The first one is from Jeremiah 29:11. Which reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future."
The second verse is found in Exodus 33:14. The Lord replied, "My presence will go with you and I will give you rest." We have some gifts here for the graduates today. We wish you all the best to find the correct path to follow and allow God to lead you.
Congratulations, and may God bless you all as you begin the next practice.
Last year, you guys were sitting right here, getting your diplomas. In maybe 8th grade, next year you'll be back here presenting something as well. I have a couple of scholarships that I want to give away here. The first scholarship is the Fletcher Scholarship Award. The Fletcher Scholarship Award, we started giving it away a couple years ago. And it's given for Mr. Fletcher, who was a longtime elder in this church. And he worked for our conference, he worked in the IT department. And so each year, this scholarship is given away to a student that expressed an interest in technology and is helpful in that way throughout the school year. This scholarship also goes to a student who's had a 3.0 and above all school year. In addition, this student will be continuing their education in an Adventist school. And I'm pleased to present this award to. Before I say that, this award goes with a $500 scholarship to Rio Linda Adventist Academy. That award goes to Federico Omalon. The second award that we'll be giving away this evening is a scholarship award as well. I started giving this award away when I first came to Hilltop 4 years ago. And this is in memory of my grandfather. My grandfather was an Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist educator and principal. And each year we give this award out to a student, an 8th grade student who will be continuing their education, Adventist education. And this also goes with a $500 scholarship to Rio Lindo Adventist Academy. This student has had a 3.0 all school year, and it's in recognition of this student's spiritual leadership and commitment to Christian education. This award goes to Michaela Miliani.
Good evening, my name is Michaela Wu, and I have attended Hilltop since 5th grade. I first want to thank God and everything He has done for me. Next, I would like to thank my parents. My parents do a lot for my brothers and I. They're always making sure I am on track and making sure I'm always a kid. Thank you for always being there to provide help on the many homework assignments and projects that were given to me this year. I wouldn't be who I am without them, and I am just extremely thankful for them, and I love you both so much. I want to give a huge thank you to my grandma and my mommy Angel. Thank you, Grandpa, for teaching me how to take care of myself and taking care of my brothers and I and keeping us fed. Mommy Angel, thank you for all the motivation and support you have given me throughout the years. You have taught me to be strong and independent. I would like to thank all my uncles and aunts for always supporting me. Next, I would like to thank all my teachers for teaching me the many things I'm going to need. And lastly, thank you to all my classmates for making sure this year fun. Thank you for always putting up with our craziness. I love you all.
My parents, please stand. Good evening, my name is Federico. I'm on the fourth and I have attended Hilltop since 7th grade. I want to say thank you to my parents for the guidance and the support that you guys have given me throughout my whole life. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for me. I love you both with all my heart, always and forever.
Will my parents please stand? Hey everyone, I'm Jada and I've been at Hilltop since 6th grade. I want to say thank you to teachers who taught me and encouraged me to do my best. I especially want to thank my parents and family for praying for me. I want to thank my friends for making me laugh, and I really want to thank Danica for being an awesome friend and being there for me throughout my 3 years of being here. I love you guys so much.
Good evening, family and friends. Good evening. My name is Mia Shelton, and I have attended Hilltop since 6th grade. I want to say thank you to my mom and dad for believing in me and caring and wanting me to succeed. And I would like to thank Mr. K for pushing me to be better in sports, and I want to thank Ms. Roslin for being such a fun teacher and making me laugh. Lastly, I would like to thank my friends for making my year fun and memorable.
and help us celebrate this accomplishment in our lives. My name is Michaela Lulu, and I was the 8th grade president this year. This school year has been the best year I've experienced at Hilltop since I first came here to Hilltop in 5th grade, to the 7th grade class. Here's a little advice. Do your work and listen to your parents and teachers, and you too will enjoy your year. Also, don't stress too much and don't let the little things get to you. Our 8th grade year was filled with overnight trips, homework, special projects, laughter, music, sports, more laughter, food, after-school clubs, some more food, and more laughter. I have many special memories of all these, but most importantly are the memories I have made through my lasting friendships I have made here at Hilltop that I will cherish for a lifetime. Our class has had our ups and downs, but we've always ended it strong and learned from the past to better ourselves. This is one area I would like to challenge my classmates and myself to doing as we move onward into high school. Learn from your mistakes to better yourself. There's a quote that says, one thing is for sure, you will make mistakes. Learn to learn from them. Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to laugh when everything falls apart because sometimes it will. Class of 2019. Life doesn't always go as planned, no matter how organized or put together it may be. Learning to learn from our mistakes will help us persevere through any trial in life. In Deuteronomy 31:6, the Bible tells us that we need to be strong and courageous, not be afraid or terrified, because the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. My classmates, God's word is true. If He promises He will never leave us or forsake us, we can have confidence knowing that we can overcome anything in life with His leading. And my second and final challenge to you is this: put God first in your life. Everything else in secondary. The Bible tells us in Matthew 6:33 to seek or look for Christ and His righteousness first. If we do this, all things will be added unto you. Next, I want to acknowledge our teachers. Monday through Thursday in the afternoons, my class would spend a long 45 minutes with Miss Greenwood. Miss Greenwood has been there for us since 6th grade and even for a few of us 5th grade. She's always known how to cheer us up on our bad days, and she always makes sure we are okay and that we get our work done on time. She was a big impact on all of us, and we are very thankful for you, Miss Greenwood, and we love you, and we're going to miss you very much. Next is Mr. K. Mr. K was our science teacher, PE teacher, and was our sports coach. Mr. K was one of the most supportive teachers we've ever had, and he has such a big impact on my classmates and I. We are always going to have you in our hearts, and we will forever remember you. Next, Miss Rosalind. Miss Rosalind was our art teacher, and she was like our mom at school. She always made sure we had something to eat if we didn't have lunch. If we were ever going through something, she was always someone we could talk to, and she would listen. Thank you, Miss Rosalind, for everything you've done for my classmates and I. Lastly, Mr. Lulu, aka my dad. Having my dad as a teacher for 2 years was kind of weird, but I did enjoy it. Mr. Lulu is the most patient teacher we've ever had. No matter how busy he got with his other responsibility as being the principal, he always put my classmates and I first. He was tough on my classmates and I, but he taught us many very valuable lessons that we will carry with us to high school. I would like to thank all my teachers again, and I will miss you guys a lot. Don't miss me too much. As we wrap up our time together at Hilltop, and for the most part go our separate ways for high school, let us not forget the many lessons, connections, and friendships we have made here through the years. Though we may not see each other every day moving forward, let's stay in touch with each other to encourage one another and lift each other up if we're down. I want to thank each of my classmates for allowing me to serve them as the 8th grade class president this year. It has been an honor and an amazing experience, one I would have not had if it were for each of you. Thank you again, and I love you all.
Good evening, family and friends. I have the privilege of introducing our commencement speaker this evening, Mr. K. We have been incredibly blessed to have him in the 7th and 8th grade classroom this year for science. In addition to teaching science, Mr. K also our sports coach and athletic director. Mr. K always pushes us to do our best, whether it's learning and applying a new science concept or teaching us the importance of sportsmanship and teamwork, all while glorifying God through our living. Mr. K also has a good sense of humor and is easy to talk to, which is something me and my classmates appreciate very much. Mr. K, we want to thank you again for accepting our invitation to speak at our graduation this evening, and we will look forward to what you have to share with us.
Thank you, Nina. So, my students know I'm a little passionate. I hope they know the love I share for them. This is not supposed to be hard already. Come on. Okay. So I will be needing the help of my notes, because I know if I look behind me right now, stop looking at me. I know if I look behind me right now, I'm going to be begging them to stay another year. So just please bear with me. Before we start, I just want to have a word of prayer. All right, Heavenly Father, be with me tonight. Speak through me. Amen. Well, the kids told me I have about 5 to 7 minutes. Brace yourselves. We're going to be here for a while. Today is Thursday, so unless you are a Bruins or Blues fan, you have nowhere to be. So you will brace yourselves, and you understand why I'm going to be up here for a little bit. As well as there's no hidden earpieces or friends in the back row throwing cue cards or hand signals telling me about game 4. That's tomorrow. This was going to be the time I was going to ask the church to please forgive me as I was going to ignore you guys and move the pulpit to talk to my kids, but I don't think this is going to be going anywhere, so I'm just going to have to kind of look back every now and then. This has been one of the most challenging speeches for me to prepare. I've been in front of presidents, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies for my time in last year University in Psych. Yet, this was the most difficult. It was because I was not able to spend time as much with them outside of class, on their field trips, on Ditch Day. So for any personal or funny stories that I can use at your expense, that's out. So I thought if I can use our class motto. I asked the class, hey, what's your class motto? A what-o? I don't even know what you're talking about. Vice President, Jada, take a bow. Okay? Why would we have a motto? What's a motto? Why do you keep saying the word motto? Michaela, President. Take a bow. This was in our science class. So sticking to the theme, that kind of went out the window as well. And lastly, the emotional tie. Now that's the most difficult aspect for me. But I'm here because of you students at Hilltop Christian. Look at you wearing your robes and your fancy hats. Now for adults, usually wearing a robe this early in the evening would mean you've given up. But for kids, it's the best thing that I can see tonight. Remember when we first started? Up to this point, I know it's been a journey of patience and understanding on both sides. But this is the last time standing in front of you, Kate. The last time for me to teach. Stop smiling so much. Pay attention. Though my time with you has been ephemeral, that means short-lived, or a very short time. Yay, we're saying learning everything. Though my time has been ephemeral, it has meant more to me than you will ever know. So class of 2019, remember your value, remember your worth. We have spoken on these topics all year, and how incredibly special you all are, and how proud I am of each one of you. The times you are growing up in are one of the most difficult. Some of you have already had to grow too fast, but with God as your compass, there's nothing you can't do. A mind, strength, independence, and yeah, a little stubbornness. But you have the gift of leadership. And yes, it takes a little time for you to trust and warm up to people, but that's okay. Just don't let it get in the way of showing others who Maya is and the gifts God gave you. Because when you do, it's incredible. Be the leader God wants you to be. You have changed me by always keeping me on my toes. I know this might not sound like much, but on one of my most stressful days, when I was coming back from taking my father to deep in my head. And you came around the corner, you and your group, and came and gave me the biggest hug and said, welcome back. And that meant everything. Men cry. All right, if they don't tell me. So thank you. Annabelle, I don't think I've ever seen you not smiling or in good spirits. Yes, I know you have struggles just like everyone else. I know you have good and bad days, but the strength inside you is so powerful. Girl, it gravitates others' moods around you. Never let that burn out. Let it shine. Oh, and Annabelle, remember when I said you couldn't graduate? Unless you joined one of my teams? Yeah. No, I still can't stop from that. So, moving on. Federico, Mr. Gentleman. First time we met, you were yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir. Always saying hello and asking if there was anything I needed help with. Getting to know this young man has been a true highlight of my life. Thank you for allowing me to share a small part of it. God has blessed you with strength and resiliency I couldn't imagine having to take on. With their talks, hanging out, and you being one of my boys, it's clear you are a fighter, or as my dad would say, pit bull. The plan you have for you and your family is nothing short of inspirational. God has you. Never forget to lean on Him when needed. Haley, like others in your class, you have the gift of lifting those around you. You have been able to be the chameleon. You fit into each group, and that's a special talent. But in those changes, don't lose who you are. Don't lose the real Haley. The one who's kind and forgiving. The one who likes to laugh and isn't afraid to laugh at herself or ever getting embarrassed. You have been one of the few that have been with me, not only in class, but at the tournaments. Except this year, what's up? Yeah, you kind of left me hanging. It's okay. Not having in our group the last couple of tournaments was known either in car rides or during our games, but you also have that light inside you. Shine. Jada, intelligent, driven, goal-oriented. She knows where she wants to be and what she wants to do. We have been talking the last year or so about her future. She's the only one who seeks out advice for what her next step would be. She's like a young adult, a little mini version of an adult, and it just blows my mind. She will be attending Dozier Libby Medical High School. Sorry, I butchered that. But I could not be happier, more excited, and proud of what you have in your future. You have changed me by keeping me honest as well as humble. Example. Oh, coach, you look nice. And before I can even say, oh, thank you, today. What you got? Okay, that's like that. Okay, you have such a bright future. Change the world. Don't ever take no for an answer. And like I say in science, question everything. Michaela, you have such a good heart. You know how to treat people like Jesus asked us to. You are incredibly passionate and truly care for others, sometimes causing you to take care of their well-being before your own. I'm not going to look back at you because I'm already about to lose it. And unfortunately, in this life, there are more out there that seek to take advantage than there are seeking to help others in need. Thank you for being that 1%. Don't let this world take that gift away. I was like that gift from my mom. But the world caused me to become jaded and numb. Michaela, you helped me see that side again. Yeah. It's okay to show others your heart, and you showed me. So thank you. Nia. I know sometimes, I was going to say this with the mind as well, but I know sometimes you guys can put together in a conversation, because you guys are seeing it together, like two peas in a pod. And it can be easy, or people can say it can be easy as seeing them as similar, but You could not be more different, both in a positive way. Nia, the individual, is tenacious. She is not afraid to go for what she wants, but she's also caring and respectful, creative and encouraging. Having her on our volleyball team showed a different side that I never had seen before. You're a go-getter, you never quit. That's huge. Do not be afraid to go for what you want, regardless of what others think or what is popular. I know you're interested in film and you enjoy editing. We can use the example of when you filmed me flipping the soccer ball over my head, and instead of using the one or two good ones that actually got over, you used all of my errors and had a song or something to it. Oh, it's awesome. Loved it. But she's so creative. Never stop. Seriously, I'm blessed to know you. Trevor, future of baseball. Why do you think I was so excited to get your jersey and ask you to sign it? Retirement plan. No, I'm just joking. It has been such a blessing getting to know you, Trevor. You are passionate. You're full of energy. You're not only an all-around athlete, but you're capable of anything you put your mind to. You are so much more than Mr. Baseball. Though I could not be prouder of what you have accomplished, remember, you're far from being a one-dimensional kid. Do not be afraid of being an ace in your athletics as well as your education. I'm going to miss my talks with you, hearing all about the news on super and hypercars, my Koenigsegg compadre. Oh, speaking of cars, did you hear about? Wait, I don't even know what I'm hearing about. Sorry, did you hear about Tracy Morgan? The other guy crashed in his $2 million Bugatti. Yeah. $2 million gone. I know I've let you down by missing your games, and I cannot feel more sick about that. I promise I will make it right. Thank you for giving me many vacations when talking about sports and cars, but also thank you for sharing your passions with me. Class of 2019, to conclude, do not be afraid to have setbacks. Do not be afraid if your plans get derailed. Jeremiah 29:11 says it best. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. He has a master plan for each one of you. Though your plans may change, don't fear it, embrace it. For all of my setbacks, my struggles, my failures and mishaps, most would even say they regret it. I probably would have said I regret it. But just like any algorithm, if I would have made one choice, just one differently, I would have risked not being here with you tonight. So I praise God for those failures. I praise God for those mishaps. Because without those, I would not have had the pleasure to get to know such bright young minds, and that's not okay. You all have changed me, brought me closer to God, and made me a better person. I would have never thought this is where I was supposed to be. The love I have for you kids is worth it all. Thanks, Lord. I'd never change a thing. All the money, all the power, it used to be important to me, but it doesn't matter. Nothing compares to what you gave me. Happiness. Okay, come on, wrap up. To conclude my conclusion, never be satisfied. Always know that you are not alone. Never follow another person's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and all you see is a path, then by all means, please take that path, please. Alright, yeah, don't be like me and following Sebastian. Yeah, I got lost, and yeah, my parents didn't find me until a day. I think it was a whole day. Alright, be a trailblazer. And though this class is small, there's nothing small about you. Think of the diatoms that we talked about, being the secret of Earth's oxygen supply. Size means nothing. The smallest organisms can be the most dangerous or extraordinary. So I want to remember this accomplishment. But real quick, audience, if you guys are here for somebody up on stage, please stand. Yeah, if you're here for somebody up on stage, please stand. Class, look out. Yeah, look in front of you. Look at the love and support you have in God's house? In the words of Dr. King, if you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Okay? Alright, so I will never admit this to any of my friends out in Southern California in Lhasa. Please do not, don't, just don't. I got a self-esteem, and I feel so, I have to hand in my man card. Alright, so, yeah, sorry you guys, please come. Thank you. Alright.
I know it says presentation of diplomas, but this is Dorothy. Do you have a picture? There's a picture that's coming up. 8th grade. You guys remember about a month ago we went on our 8th grade ditch day trip? Yeah? One of our stops, our last stop was to the Getty Museum. This $1 billion, beautiful museum in Los Angeles. And you guys wanted to go there. When we walked into the museum, this is you guys. Okay, there's all these, we walk into this exhibit and there's millions of dollars of these beautiful paintings and sculptures and everything on the walls, and you guys walk in like this. Hold on. You walk in like this. You look at your phone. Look at your phone. And I look at Miss Rosalind. I said, Miss Rosalind, they drug us out here and they're on their cell phones. And so there's this picture I want you guys to look at. There's one picture, you probably didn't see it. I know you didn't see it because you guys are on your cell phones. So look at the picture now. I'm going to give you a little art lesson with my notes. The title of this portrait that's behind me is called The Miraculous Draught of Fishes. The artist is Joachim Buchelaar. He's from the Netherlands. This portrait dates back to 1563. The medium is oil on panel. The dimensions are 110.5 by 210.8 centimeters. At the left side, St. Peter, you guys are looking? At the left side, St. Peter and the other disciples of Christ are pulling their teeming nets of fish aboard a boat. After an unsuccessful night of fishing on the Sea of Tiberias, the tired and hungry disciples had seen a man standing on the shore and followed his advice to cast their nets over the boat's side. Their miraculous catch inspired Peter to recognize Christ appearing after his death and resurrection. In the middle there, in the middle scene, you see Peter. He enters the water to meet him. On the right, you see Christ and the disciples, and they're sharing a meal around a fire. In the foreground, it depicts peasants. It depicts peasants hauling in baskets of fish to take to the market, forming a contemporary parallel to the biblical scene. You see the artist specialized in combining genre subjects with religious scenes. In The Miraculous Draught of Fishes, he contrasted the spiritual world of the Bible with the materialism of the contemporary world. 8th grade. There's so much that we can become consumed with. We can become consumed with social media, right? But God is working. He's working in the midst. In this picture, the peasants are all working in the front. They're all excited about the fish, but the real miracle is happening in the back with Jesus. And so graduates, don't forget that Jesus is working. He's very, very real.
Amen.
Don't ever forget that. Okay? And so that's your art lesson, because you were too busy on your phones at the Getty Museum. I think we're ready for our diplomas, Mrs. Dreamer. Parents, family, and guests, the Hilltop 8th grade students that sit before you this evening have successfully completed the prescribed requirements set forth by Hilltop Christian School and the Northern California Conference at the Seventh-day Adventist. It is my privilege to recommend them for the 9th grade, where they will once again be at the bottom of the totem pole. Will the graduating class of 2019 please stand to accept your diploma? All right, smile. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the graduating class of 2019.
on this new journey to high school and help us to keep